But the idea of, a game as a simulation, sort of, predicting things or whatever, I mean, obviously, yes, it's entertainment on some level, but there are games where it's like, it is more of a simulation. Or maybe not, but
Sure.
is there value there in that, and sort of in kind of, testing things and exploring ideas inside of a game world?
Yeah, actually at Tesla we have a whole sim team that tries to create a photorealistic world, and we're trying to be photorealistic about like actually the most boring things like skid marks on the road and like concrete curves, shadows, faded lines on this. Like the reason self-driving is hard is because you have all these corner cases and things where the road should be a certain way, but it isn't. Like there should be painted lines, but there aren't painted lines, and they took the painted lines away, and then there's a skid mark that's offset from the painted line, so that will cause the car, if it just listens to the lines, to crash into stuff. If you had clearly painted lines and could count on them, self-driving would be trivial, like just a piece of cake. But the world is just filled with all these things that are not the way they're supposed to be. And then the real trick with the self-driving AI is to figure out where should I be on this road that has no painted lines, or the lines have been painted wrong, and it's got skid marks and scratches and road work and all sorts of things that are unexpected. That's the really hard part. Otherwise, it'd be child's play. So yeah, we do a lot of sim at Tesla, and we have found a good correlation. It's like, does the car drive off the cliff in sim? Yes. Does it drive off the cliff in reality? Well, we got close.
I think you said it once. It's not the lines. It's looking for drivable space is more important than the markings in real life, because that's how your mind's actually working.
Yeah.
Even if there's a lane, you can't. There's someone there. Like, it's more drivable space that's the problem.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and actually, we recently found that we need we had like pretty good recognition of lines and what's technically drivable space, but we actually need what is road, and as opposed to what is the most probably the road as opposed to drivable space, and then a whole subset on curbs. We're really into curbs right now. Some curbs are really subtle, and some you should care about, some you shouldn't care about. Sometimes you go into a driveway and it's got a little curb, and then the car's like, oh, curb, can't go over that. Or it's like operating on drive space, going through like a neighborhood, and then everyone's driveway is drive space. And technically true, but you don't want to go through everyone's driveway. It's not good. Well, I mean, it's like video games have drove computing technology, especially GPUs, massively. It's like that's the only thing you need a GPU for, was to have the game look better. And so those massive resources put into rendering games to be more realistic. And then those same GPUs ended up being very useful for neural nets, and gave a huge boost to AI. So it's sort of video games to better graphics to AI, and then that same thing is sort of quite key to self-driving.
Yeah, I know you have